Welcome back, everyone. I'm so sorry it's been quite a while since I've posted some of these YouTube updates. The second half of this year, I started a new job, and since then, it's been really hard to stream consistently as well as then take those recordings and upload them. But rest assured, everything that I have streamed over the last few months has been recorded, so I do plan to start working through that backlog and over the next few weeks of the holidays, releasing some of those updates for you here on YouTube for those of you who are unable to catch the streams live. And I want to take some time to do a bit of a more specific introduction to some of these videos. So what you're going to see today is the early parts of working on a widget using Jetpack Glance, the new library to build widgets with Compose. We do this for the Esports result tracking app that I work on, both on and off stream. But what we do here is we start building out the widget using some test data for seeing, how we set up a widget, how we can put something on our home screen. So I hope you find this interesting and stay tuned for part 2, where we actually go ahead and populate this with real data. That will be in a separate video. Right, welcome back, everyone. How's it going? Happy Friday. I know this is one of the super rare daytime streams, but I am excited to do it. It's one I've been itching to do for a while. I've been itching to do more day streams for a while, but something I've been wanting to stream about is I really want to play around with widgets. I want to make some widgets. I've been thinking about it for a while, and then at DroidCon London, saw a great talk by Peter Pruce about widgets, which we'll also talk about his talk in a little bit. Yeah, so something I've been wanting to do, and I figured while Wednesday nights are great, I admittedly have been terrible about uploading streams to YouTube lately. I have all the recordings, I just haven't taken the time, and so I thought I would just try to carve out some time to do a little daytime stream. So we've actually got like a no meeting day at work today, so I ran it by my manager, and I'm going to take like probably an hour, hour and a half. Shouldn't be more than that, so hopefully we get through it today. But we'll do a little daytime streaming today and look at widgets. So let's get started. Let's jump over to this. There we go. So let me share this real quick. So there's a couple of resources we'll look at, but this is one I wanted to share. This is the talk that I viewed at DroidCon London. Those are the slides. Actually, I should have pulled up the video for this, actually, because the videos for DroidCon London are out now. So let me find the video. Yeah, there we go. Taking a look at Jetpack Glance. So if you prefer videos instead of slides, happy Friday, Matt. Hope you're doing well. There's the video instead. This is my scuffed 2 stream setup where the computer I'm on doesn't, I've only got this one monitor, so you get to see the chat window as I go back and forth. So there's their talk. These are the slides, which I have saved as reference. I also have the Android developers blog introducing this, which is like almost a year old now. And we'll kind of use all of these things together. I may also look at, I think there was another blog post I found that was helpful for this, because there's one of the reasons I'm kind of going in circles here is the resources around Glance seem a little scarce to start. The ones that are there have been great, but there's not a lot. And I think there's a whole bunch of reasons why like widgets maybe aren't super popular, or like Glance is still in an alpha stage. And Peter talked about this in his presentation, that it's still in the alpha stage, even though it's worked well for him. There, I guess, is some internal conversations where they might change the way some of the APIs work, and so they don't want to promote it to beta if they're going to potentially change some of those APIs, which is totally valid. That's on that team. But anyways, not really sure what we're going to find making this happen, but hey, Maya, thanks for coming by. That's what we're going to figure out together. That's one of the things I love about live streaming, is we just kind of figure it all out together. So basically saying that this is one of those streams where I am starting from square one, with all of you today, or pretty close to square one. I've like seen widgets and I've seen talks on them, but I've never built one for myself. Or like if I did, it was like a Hello World one months ago. So we'll figure it out together. And I also have the weather widget from Peter's talk saved as a repository if we need to use their code as a reference. So, all of that said, let's what I want to do to start is I would like to start off trying to get I know it's not Wednesday. Welcome to the elusive Friday stream. We'll see how this goes. I'm only doing it for like an hour and a half. We'll see how it goes. If it goes well, maybe we can do more of these. Don't get too excited because it is like the holiday season here in the States where like the next few Fridays, several Fridays throughout the rest of the year, I'm not even going to be available. But Fridays are like my least busy work days that if I do get a chance to do more of this, I will. So let's try to get here. I would love to get to a point where we can throw like a Hello Glance type of widget on the screen. And we'll start there, obviously. And once we have that, we can proceed to then maybe theme it with our application theme, and then we can also go a step further. And for Europe, this is the perfect time. Yes, exactly. That's why I like to do it. Try to get some of the Europe folks in, so you guys are not watching at 3, 4 in the morning. Which those of you who do, I think you're crazy, but I appreciate you. So where do we start with this? Well, I know we need... One of the things we're going to need is the glance dependency. Well, so let's do a couple things here. Okay, I want to make sure my app is working. It's not working? Is it crashing? Is it the emulator that's bad? Should I use a different emulator? Well, let's figure that out real quick. Did I break this? I hope not. I wanted to make sure my branch was good before I go too much further, but okay, the app is starting. That's not the emulator I'm using. Okay, the app is starting. I'm just crazy. I don't know what was going on with that other emulator. But okay, so let's check out a new branch real quick, and let's do glance widget. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to put all of this code into a new module. And I don't know if that's bad. I don't know if that's going to cause me issues trying to reference the widget from the app module. I don't think so. I think it's totally fair to do this. So everything is great on my side. I appreciate the concern. Twitch is... Well, anything could happen, but we're being told that nothing is changing at Twitch. Several months ago, in fact, when we knew things were changing, Twitch already started to like slow down hiring, and right now we're not doing... it's like very minimal hiring, if anything, so they've made some changes to hopefully avoid layoffs, and obviously no one can say for sure as long as, we don't know what the future holds, but right now we're okay. So, but I really appreciate that. I know a lot of people are not in the same fortunate position right now, and that's rough. Yeah, I think it should be fine. So let's put... So I'm just future-proofing this and wondering if I have multiple widgets, because I could see that being a thing I'd want to do for this esports app. Like, maybe I want, like, upcoming events and, like, recent matches as, like, different widgets, and if I want to name the module. But I think I'll just name it widgets for now, and then we'll just go from there. We'll just call it widgets. We could put everything in there. Min SDK. I think Glance is technically 21. I think they say this. While the Min SDK is 21. Okay, so we'll keep that. We may as well. Our app min is 21 as well, I think, in this project. So No activity. Ooh, let's see. Do they have a glance template? I doubt it, but that would be cool. Okay, no. So we'll do no activity for this one. And, ooh, that is gonna add. Wait, do I want to do this? Did I make it an app module? I thought I made it an Android library module, and I might have made it an app module. Hold on, let's revert that change. Yeah, hold on. What's the caveat for 23? Oh, sorry. It says, so while the min SDK is 21, we are currently only supporting compatibility till SDK 23. I'm not really sure what that means. So, like, maybe since 23, if there are new, like, changes to widgets or remote views, maybe they're not supporting that. Although I don't know what that means, because Glance should support material theming, which is new. Um, yeah, I'm not really sure what they mean by that. Or maybe that's kind of. This article is also like a year old. Yeah, I'm not really sure what they mean by that. Um, okay, new module. Yeah, Android library. This is what I want. Android widgets. We'll do com dot Adam McNeely. The app won't crash. That's good. Pocket League dot Android dot widgets. Finish. We'll leave all that stuff. We can close this for a moment. Um, why are you failing? Oh, because I made like some typos in here. Okay, hold on. What is happening? This file should not be changed. This one can be changed. This one should not be changed. Oh, yeah. Okay. We're going to roll back this file real quick. Um, wait, did my module not get added? Hold on. I think I've like confused my IDE here by the two widgets. Classic start. Hey, Esker, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Okay, it's still trying to add this stuff, which I don't want in this file. Now let's try again. Also, hey Trax, I just saw your message. Thanks for coming by. Nice to see you, nice and early. Hope this is a better time. Okay, so this is building. Let me do a couple cleanup things really quick. Uh, like referencing some shared things here. Also, for widgets, we don't need these tests. Oh my god, go away. We don't need these test files. So we'll yeet those out of here. Main, there's nothing in here yet. Cool. And then just to avoid some confusion, I'm going to get rid of all these implementations right now. We'll add the new ones in a second. You should do it on Fridays. I should do more on Fridays. Yeah, I think that would be the goal. But like I said, I kind of said this near the beginning, so some folks might have missed it. But the next couple months, just even Wednesdays, it's a busy time of year, so I don't know that I'll be on as much. But that would be the goal, is to make this like a consistent Fridays thing. But like next Friday, I will not be here, and then I will be the following Friday. But then I think I'm out again, and it's a busy season. Okay, let's commit these changes so I'm not confused. Adding widgets module, and that's just getting this out of the way. This is the boilerplate of putting all the widget, getting a new module set up for the widget code, and then after this we can actually go ahead and start building some stuff. So let's find let's look at this blog post. So this is, I looked at this briefly. I'll share this with everyone. But this one would be nice because I think that this is going to be something that's going to be a little more like step by step guide, which will be nice. Or is it just talking about Glance in general? I'm reading the headlines really quick. Okay, it is just the headlines, but there's a sample. Okay, so I know a little bit to try to reverse engineer another sample app that we'll look at. So let's do that from Peter's project. I can share this again as well. I linked this earlier, but it looks like some folks have showed up. Daytime stream, yes. Hey Matt, how are you doing? Um, let's go into Peter's app. So let's find. They put them in. Of course, they put them in version catalogs. Where's the Android's official post here? They have a sample. Or they used to. They moved it. Amazing. Um, would it be in this? Okay, that's not it either. All right, let's. This is fine. We can go find their version catalogs. Let's see where they put it. Um, okay, glance. Here we go. Pull these out real quick. So we can do implementation Android X glance. Glance. Oh, when did we get this autocomplete? Is this new in Flamingo? Or maybe one of the newest ones? I have not seen this before. That's fancy. That is fancy and very cool. Um, neat. So, a couple things related to this, in addition to just pulling in the glance widgets. So, let's talk about when we go to build the UI, which we're not there yet. But Glance uses its own set of composed components and modifiers and stuff. So, any UIs I put in my Glance widget, I don't think, at least not at the current time, that I can reuse my existing composed UI code. The reason for that being basically like Glance built their own thing. So if I want to put a text on the screen, I have to use a Glance text. Any modifiers I write are Glance modifiers. And they do share some stuff from the Compose Foundation, but it's not exactly the same one to one. So let's go to the blog post. Let's go to the talk and see what we need. So we added, let's go over this. So we added the alpha version and all this stuff. I think, oh, do I might need to do this build features compose thing in the module as well. So let's do that real quick. And then I might need to set the Kotlin compiler extension versions. Let's do that. Compose options, Kotlin compiler extension. What did they use? 1.1.0 beta 03. Let's do that. Um, okay. So we add that, and so then we need a widget provider. And this is not rendering well for all of you. Sorry. Can I zoom in maybe? Oh god, that's not doing it. That's zooming in on everything, but I can do this. That'll make it a little better. Um, I'm not talking to you. Um, what does the widget provider do? I wish I remembered the time. Oh my god. Hold on.
The mic is muted.
Pardon the interruption. Skynet felt the need to come hang out and interrupt what I was doing. And it stopped my other Spotify. Okay. Classic. Didn't know we were having a guest today. Yep, that's the real guest star. Uh, the Google Home. And I didn't feel like I went to mute it, but it had already run a command, so then I just unplugged it. Is the music coming back? Sounds like it is. Yep. Okay. So, do I need this widget provider? I think I do. Um, or maybe I don't. I don't remember. All right, let's go back to Google and see if someone else has made like a step-by-step guide we can follow here. Demystifying Jetpack Glance. Ah, this is from Marcel Pinto, who I believe is, yes, they are a developer advocate at Google. I don't know if they were when this was written, but this will probably help. I think this is what I used before. Okay, so one thing we need to do is basically declare the app widgets, and that's through a widget receiver. Now we could read this. The TLDR is that the OS uses broadcast receivers to notify widgets about events. So this was, I think, in the old API we had this like app widget provider class, but Glance makes this a little easier with a Glance app widget receiver class that puts a bunch of it together. So let's render this. Let's steal this. Let's go into widgets here. And um yeah, let's just do my app. What did they call it? My app, widget receiver. Let's just use their guides for now. I want to get a hello world thing running, and then we can go and make it a little more complex to our implementation. So we also need my app widget, which I believe. Oh my god, did they not show an example of it? I don't. Um, okay, we can make a new file, call it my app widget, and I believe it extends Glance widget, Glance app widget. And then we have to override the content function, which is composable. And then we can put whatever we want here. So here we could put like a text. Text will be hello world. And notice this is a glance text, not a composed text here. Okay, so that's the widget. I'm not really worried about. So they show, just skipping through these slides here, sorry. So in Peter's talk, he shows creating the weather widget, and then we could pass in the widget state, which has the weather information. We're going to ignore these slides for a second. And I'm going to jump ahead to try to find. Let's talk about saving stuff in preferences. There's something about XML stuff later on here that we still need to do a little bit of. That's dealing with the widget clicks and updating. Aha. So we do still need to define the receiver. I wish I could copy this. Or I can find it in their XML files. Hi Stelianos, I know I'll try to do more of this. I know I always say that. It's hard, but I'm glad I could make it work today. Um, that's why I'm trying to go fast. I don't want to spend too much time on this today because I do still have work to do. But Okay, let's see if we can find their in their project where they do this defining this widget receiver, which is probably in their app main. Oops, Android manifest. Um, aha. So let's steal this. Catch a glance. Oh man, I missed that. I am off my game. That was so good. I am just off my game. Um, does this need to go inside? So this is what I was worried about. Do I put this in? I think I would put this part in my app module. Or do I? Um, I don't know the answer to this. Because it needs to go inside an application tag. But I'm wondering if I do this, is it enough to have the manifest merger work? Um, oh, we also need to do this thing, this XML weather widget provider, which just has like some default information. Let's copy this. We're doing a lot of copy and pasting here, and we'll just slowly see if we can reverse engineer this. Weather widget. I'm just gonna name it. I'll rename it. We don't need this. We will need to give it an initial layout, which we can do in a sec. Let's rename this my app widget provider. Um, this layout is like this layout is basically like the preview for when a widget is first created. Oh, you know what I learned recently? This is, I don't know how new this is. This is kind of new, but GitHub added this incredible button right here for copy raw contents. At least I hope it's GitHub and not like a Chrome extension that I have, because I do have some of those for GitHub. But this is so much nicer. I used to always open raw and then do like Control A, but now you can look at a file and you can just copy the raw contents right away. Beautiful. Yeah, can someone else fact check this and make sure it's not a Chrome extension I'm using? Just go pull up a file in GitHub. Here, I'll even share this file, make it easier. And someone tell me if that button is there. If it's not, I'll see if I can figure out which extension I'm using. But it's so nice. GitHub is one of the best companies when it comes to like these small quality of life features. Like, it's just so good on a bunch of small little things that make like my day-to-day developer experience so much nicer. Okay, layout. Um, Initial widget layout. Um, nice. Okay, so it is like a first-party thing. Um, so what else? So right, and then we do the widget provider and the initial layout icon. Do I actually need that? I don't know if I need that. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. So then we're gonna go into our app and we're going to do implementation project Android widgets. This is not running on we're gonna that was not the playlist I wanted. And I didn't notice until now. Cool. Um let's run this. Maybe I'll run on a physical device actually later. That would probably be a little nicer. Um, get some T Swift in here. Would be nice. Um, I am not gonna play music that is not, or not intentionally play music that is copyrighted. So, um, which I think Spotify might have gone into, but accidents happen. We're back on DMCA free lo-fi, which is honestly like I started playing it because okay, wait. We can change. I think okay. That's because that was about our Compose compiler version being out of date here. I think this is 1.3.2 is the latest one, which probably matches the Kotlin version we're using. Let's try this out. But I don't know if that's going to screw up Glance. So you may have to play around with version compatibility. We'll see. I could be wrong. I started playing this music again because it was copyright free, but then like I'm really into lo-fi while I'm working. Um, that's been great. Yeah, instrumental stuff while working is great. Because I'm actually like productive at the same time. I feel like when I listen to my favorite genre, which is like pop punk sort of stuff, I end up just singing along the whole time. Okay, so hold down on the home screen, widgets. Is it there? It's there. Okay, it's called weather widget. We could fix that. But then touch and hold. Look at that. Hello world. All right, that's our hello world widget. Have I tried instrumental jazz? I have not. But I feel like that got overlooked. We made a hello world widget. So I'm gonna commit this breakpoint. Hello world working. Um, oh, this always happens with the exclamation point. One of the most annoying things with Glance was always the pollution and all the UI composables. I wouldn't want to imagine adding that in a big app if it's not properly modularized so that I only got one or the other dependency. It's like a mild thing, but it was noticeable. Um, what do you mean by the pollution in the composables? I'm not saying I disagree. I'm just not quite sure what you mean by that. Um, this is exciting. So let's go over. Where did I call it weather widget? Aha, the label here. Um, we'll keep it with my app widget for now. Um, let's see if we can. Hmm. Funny coincidence, once we started a KMP project and we copied John O'Reilly's project and it had Glance dependency and the iOS developer is like, why is there two of everything? What is Glance? Okay, yeah, I talked about that earlier, about how Glance uses its own composed version for everything. Yes, that's a good point. So that is one reason I liked putting it in a new module. So my new module here, the only dependency is Glance, which means if I start typing in text, I'm only going to get the Glance text. Um, but that said, all of that said, I would like to, what I would like to try to figure out is, and this is why I might switch to a physical device, is the question I'm going to try to figure out is, does Glance support Material 3 theming at all? And that I'm not sure about. So, I don't know that It doesn't look like they're using it in this thing, but they should. Um, so I just need to figure out how to figure out like what we're doing. So let's. Is there like a glance surface? No. Um, and there's no like material theme here. Um, does the Now and Android app have a widget? That would be a good question. Um, not as far as I'm aware. Um, no, it doesn't. Okay. Interesting. So they really left that out, huh? I don't know if they left it out. Um, Did you talk about this? Supports Android 12 features. Okay, here is one that looks like it's using it. So I wonder. Okay, hold on. If I go into a text, I just want to see. Like, I wonder if I pull in Material 3, what would happen? Um, let's find out. Let's find out. That's the whole point. Sometimes we just want to explore together, so let's do it. So, uh, I have this in a Gradle version catalog already. Let's pull that in. Um, the thing is, a glance text doesn't take in a color, although glance modifier could have something. Um, so let's just find out, like, what would happen if we put a Material 3 surface in here? I have no idea if it will, like, still run. We'll find out. I wonder if I will also have to remove this for the new one, or if it will just, if the widget just changes. Android user interface samples. Oh yeah, I was looking at this earlier, app widget, but is it glance? I don't think that, oh wait, migrate glance sample into main branch. Okay, glance. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here's a glance theme. Oh, they like wrote their own color provider here. I'm not copying this. Um, they should expect glance widgets to follow the material guidelines. Um, but it looks like they like, okay. What's the playlist, by the way? Um, I don't have the Spotify link, but if you search this in Spotify, DMCA free lo-fi beats, that's what it is. It's pretty. You should be able to find it in Spotify. Um, let's remove that widget. Yeah, no problem. Um, okay, yeah, so I can't do that. Okay, so let's. That's fine. I mean, it's fine. Air quotes. So I think what I can do is Okay. So they made their own glance theme that has this color providers that uses basically ends up mapping them to color resources, which I think those come from the Android material library. Um, yes, material 1.7. Okay, so let's do this. Do I have this in here already? What is it? Android.material. Okay, I just have it in here. So let's steal this line and let's put this in here. Um, and once that syncs, I know what we'll test out here. So we're gonna go in here. Let's put this in a box. I think it's already so background. Um, and we can give it a color provider, and so then we do color provider. R dot color dot. What's is it not? Hold on. They used. Wait, did they put colors in their own thing? Please tell me they didn't. That's what they use. Okay. M3 color dynamic light. Oh, can I not just get? Um, what would be? Let's do primary 50. Let's just see what that is. I'm not 100% sure what that's going to give me. Um, hello world. I think our text color would then also we'd want to make that like on. Let's just see what we get here. Oh, this is giving me a default. That's fine. So if we may just need something like they have where are they always using light primary though? That's what's weird. Okay, that just gives me the default. Do I really need to recreate it every time? That's going to get super annoying as well. I wish it would just update. Oh my god, what am I doing? This is why I might try a physical device. It'll just be faster for me. Problem loading widget. Oh, is it because I'm not using... Oh, they have values night. That's why. They literally put it in each thing. Okay, let's try to use their thing now. What was it? And I'm gonna connect my physical device real quick because it'll just be a little faster. Temporarily change app name to a Pocket League and have it save it. You know what? That's not a bad idea. Uh, Where is that in the manifest? Is that where it's at? Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. Man, nice. Okay, and then we'll also do this. There. Fantastic idea. Okay, it worked. I need an empty screen here. How do I do it? Home settings? No. Isn't there not? I don't know how to do it. Okay, this is fine. I want to mess with this widget though. Okay. It's a dumb hack, but it'll save you a ton of repetitive scroll time. No, it's a great hack. Okay, so this worked. Um, let's do. Do I need to just drag it to make a new one? Um, how do I rearrange my desktops? I know there was a way to do it, but I'm like having so much trouble. I thought there was a way to do it. Um, oh my god, I don't remember. Or add widget by long pressing app icon instead of blank space on home screen. That's a thing? What? What? Oh, that's so much faster. Let's get rid of some of these like extra icons though for now. I can clean up my home screen later. There, now we can use this main screen to play around with. Um, Learning Android functionality in this stream too. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So, okay. I'm gonna do another crazy thing here. Um, so let's talk about this. So, the way the glance theme worked. Okay, we're gonna steal their glance theme idea. Here's how we're gonna do it. We're basically gonna go values, glance colors. I guess we could do the same thing. We're gonna copy all of them. And so we're gonna go to that directory values, and we're gonna make a new values resource file, call it glance colors.xml, and we're gonna paste theirs in. And so then we're also gonna go to values night. I don't think we need to use v31. I don't know what's different about it, but then we'll do directory values night. We'll do glance colors.xml, and we'll paste all those in. So let's look at how they did the glance theme as well, because maybe that will be just a little nicer for us. Um, Important. It will change. Interesting. Um, but this just makes it a little easier to like pull the colors. So we're going to copy this as well and go over here. This is what all developers do, right? Glance theme. Um, and let's see if we can see how it's used. What's glance KTX? What do they have in here? Looks like they have like they do some. Here they do some stuff based on Skate 31. Not a big deal. So let's look at their weather glance widget. Okay, so they wrap everything in a glance theme, and then they reference that. Okay, so let's try that. So let's go into our app widget here. Let's change this. Do I even need the box? Let's just use the text for now. Um, let's see what this gives me. I may still want to um, wrap it in like a box to like fill the whole thing, but at least I would know like, hey, I can start to get material theming here. Oh my god, this is so much faster. Okay, it looks like it themed that text automatically. I think it did. So interesting. Um, hmm. Okay, so let's. Oh no, I want to play around with it a little further, real quick. Let's go back to a box and do like. Will it automatically style the box? I don't think it will. No, no. Um, is there a line? Oh, not in the glance box. Interesting. Um, I can do that, and then I could put something like do something like this for now. Give me some space. I can't color the text automatically, so how does it know to do that? Interesting. I'm not quite sure. Hmm. Okay, that worked to get the. Is that really the primary container? Purple? That's not what this is using. Hmm. Maybe it'd be secondary container. No, because that would be. Hmm. All right. Well, colors is something we can figure out. But I think what we can take away from this first part, though, is we definitely have a way to start referencing it. So we can obviously like. Hmm. I wish. Oh, you know what? There is. Hold on. There is an Easter egg for Android S for the paint chips that will show you all of them. So, well, it shows me them like by like accent or whatever, and we could reference that directly. So, okay. So if I wanted, for example, nice, you can see the pointer. If I wanted to use this like accent one 900, if I like that like dark blue, as the relevant color here, then what I can do is I can then change this and we can do color providers. Oh, did it give me like the res ID too? Nice. So I can reference that. I can do r.color.system, or well, I guess would it be android.r.color.system accent 1 900. Okay, and then we could run that, and that would give me what I wanted. I still have to restart the widget. I wish there was an easier way. There might be something I don't know about. Nice. Okay, that's pretty cool. Um, I still wonder how they change the text color on this. Make a refresh button on the widget. Oh, so if you go to widgets, there's Android S Easter egg, which you have to do something to unlock this widget. I think you have to like go do the thing where you like tap on. I don't remember. Matt, can you help share this? You helped me find it. There's something you have to do to trigger it, but then you can add this Easter egg. Then you have access to this Easter egg widget, and then you can add that to your home screen, and it will give you all of this stuff. I'm also gonna use, I don't know, maybe 800. Um, so it's like not that dark. Um, I want to see how they did. On the text style, you can give it a color. So if I want to, then here, uh, and then color, I would just do color. Well, here I can actually use. I can go back to glance theme dot colors dot. Um, uh, on secondary. I'm gonna keep this here, but then I'm gonna also do. I want to look at this again. Secondary container. Let's try that real quick. Okay, that actually looks good. I still don't love the secondary color choice here. Um, but from a glance theme, I don't know that I can see all of them. Um, I mean, I can see a sample of what they might look like. So I think these are just defaults. I don't think these are mine. But wait, what is the surface color? No. Um, well, so I could use this accent color for the card, which I thought looked really good. Um, why is this a linter though? Oh, interesting. That could be the difference. Maybe these accent colors are new. That could be the difference in why they had the two different glance themes. Okay, so let's go. Let's use the glance theme because it works. But I just don't love the color. See what surface gives me. And then change this to on surface. Um, Wait, did I go too fast? The color will change based on where it is. That is true. That is true. But I was just saying that for where it was positioned in the home screen, I didn't love the color, so I'm just playing around with that. But you're right, that is true. But eventually, I will just have to accept the colors. I can actually roll with this. Um, Actually, well, I don't know if it will in this case. Um, Maybe it would. But yes, light and dark mode it will change. So um, I added this. Wait, not nightlight. I added the quick action, or I thought I did, because I learned there was a dark mode oh, I didn't put it in here. But there's a dark theme quick action you can add to the top. Yeah. So that does change, which is cool. I added to my emulator, yeah. Um, okay. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna say. So we're basically gonna say like, okay, supporting glance theme. We got something we can do. So I've only got a little bit of time left. Oh my god, I don't care. Um, I should remove this plugin. I don't actually find it that helpful. Um, so now we can think about what? Well, what do we want to put on our widget? What sort of pocket leak information would we want to put on here? Do we want to try and make like recent matches? Do we want like this scrollable widget to be there? Um, or like a trimmed down version of it? Or do we want like ongoing events? There are card views you can use. Yeah, so I could do this. Um, Wait, like Glance has a card view? I don't know if Glance has a card view yet. Um, and have those recent matches stacked and scrolled. Yeah, that's something I could do. Um, okay, so let's try to build something like that. So, um, let's see. Upcoming matches, if you got the day, we can definitely do that. Um, okay, so I'm gonna pull up. One second. Pull up something on my other screen here. Uh, do I don't know if I have a good one. Oh, one sec. Trying to pull up a reference over here. Nope, that's not what I want. Uh, there we go. I can use this as a reference. So, okay. So, well, that's actually a good question. How do I simulate a card view in Glance? Because I don't think Glance has it. No. Um, I mean, I could use like an Android, like I could dial into the remote view and use like a real card view. Um, Surface with shape, yeah, but it doesn't have surface either. I mean, it has box, and I could put like shapes on the box to make it. Um, But I could also not use a card view and I could just like throw up a divider and have it scroll. So what do you want to display? I think we're going to try to display like something like this, but like upcoming matches instead of recent matches. So why don't we start by let's start by pretending to show like one match here. That's what we can do. So, like I said, I do have this widget, but I can't reuse it because Glance does its own compose thing. But that's fine. So let's do this real quick. Implementation project core display models. And I'm also going to pull in, just for quick prototyping, core display models test and sync really quick. We're also going to slowly rename this. We're going to do upcoming whoa, why are we yelling? Upcoming matches widget. Um, okay, and so we've got a box that fills the available space. Um, yeah, that's fine. So what are we going to put in here? Let's. Hi, Carmen. How are you? Um, I'm gonna go into this really quick. Um, let's make a new thing here, and let's call it upcoming match list item. We'll have this taken in a modifier because everything else would. Um, okay, and what are we putting in here? So first, let's do some text. Well, so this will be a column, and we're gonna do text. Text will be. Ooh, we should also have this take in the display model, which will be match detail display model. So display model dot event name, and then we're gonna have. I'm not even gonna worry about styling yet. Display model dot relative date time. Then we're gonna have. Um, well, then we're gonna do a couple things. So then we're gonna put a row here. Just gonna have text, which will be actually, if this is an upcoming match, there's no point putting like. So I'm looking on my other screen. I have this card as a reference, and there's no point in putting a score row because there's going to be no score if these are upcoming matches. So we're going to get rid of the row, and we're just going to put blue team first, um, and then we'll do orange team. And let's see if we can do a couple things here. So one, this will need the modifier. Score can be date and time instead. Well, so that's what relative date time is. Uh, so this, sorry, it's hard to see, but this like 5 days ago right here. Um, I think for the my like data layer, this will not work for an upcoming match. It will show like negative some minutes ago. Uh, actually, yes, I know that's what'll happen. It'll happen on this screen. Um, it'll be like, oh, this is even worse because it's not. I don't know, but it'll be broken right now. But that's where it would go. Yes, exactly. As long as it's captured, and we can fix the data layer later. So let's put here. We'll do style, uh, text style. So I kind of want to put these in our glance theme as well. Uh, our glance theme has all these colors, but like it should also have um, textiles. So maybe we can make that. Um, maybe we can make that. Can you share the GitHub repo? Yeah, exclamation point GitHub. There you go. Um, let's hard code it for now and clean it up later. Um, so what's here? So color would be glance theme dot colors dot. Am I doing text color primary here? I guess so. Or on surface? Probably. Um, yeah, let's do that. What else can I give it? I can give it font weight dot bold. Um, that's all I need for that one. And then the team names don't need anything. Well, the date time should be smaller. Um, oh, and I think they all need the color actually. So let's give them all a text style. This one's not bold. The rest of these are just on surface. Um, but I think this one should be a little smaller. I think we could do like font size. We could do like 12 SP. Is 12 the default? I don't know. 12 might be the default. So then we could try like 10. Let's see how it looks. Um, so then what I'm going to do is in our widget, um, we'll eventually show more of these, but why don't we do we still want to do this? Yes. So then we could do upcoming match list item. And like I said, for quick prototyping, why don't we do test display model dot, do I not have match detail display model? Blue winner. This is a test model that I have. Um, okay, let's see what this gets us. I have no idea what to expect, but we might get kind of close to what we want. So what I'm doing now, thank you, gotta hydrate. My neck hurts from the computer. I still gotta think that through. Um, what I'm trying to do here is get something that shows like a match and kind of works, and then we can go through there. Hey, not bad. This is not bad at all. I mean, there's benefits we can make. So like here we could do padding, 16 dips on this one. I also think we can do vertical alignment that let's do spaced by. Oh, is this not a thing? Is spaced by not a thing in Glance? No, I guess technically not. Or arrangement, I think is what it is. No, it is a vertical alignment. That doesn't make sense. Okay. Well, I guess I could put it on each of the things. Let's see what happens when we add the padding to the widget, and then let's see how bad that is. Okay. It cuts off. It cuts off if it's too small. Um, but it's there. Um, I kind of want to put them on the same team, same line. You know what I mean? Like, so like blue team name being this, and then orange team name being this. Oh my god. And then we can do matchup could be like blue team name versus orange team name. And then what we do is we instead just do like a text that is our matchup. I guess I don't need the curly braces, whatever, lint. So then we would have like Knights versus G2 Esports or something. So let's do one other thing here. Let's go into our widget here. Um and there is I believe Glance has a lazy column. It does. Nice. So we can do items. Uh let's put it at the top here. Demo matches. This will be like list of match details, play model. Let's even do like orange winner as a comparison, and then blue winner. We'll just set up this silly thing. Items, demo matches. Let's do items indexed, because then we can do index and match, and we can say, okay, we could do match, upcoming match list item. Display model is match. And then if the index is not equal to demo matches dot last index, we want to put in a divider, which of course is not in Glance either. Oh my god. Um, okay. Uh, yeah, because divider is a material thing, isn't it? So I think we could do like we could do something like this. Yeah, max width 1 dp height, exactly. Um, width height 1.dp background and theme. Is this really gonna make me put like let's do or I'm gonna do that because it's just a little nicer. Is there a spacer? Oh, they have a. Oh, can I put it on a spacer? I think so. But I don't know if spacer would draw the background. So we'll just use a box. Okay. I think we also might want to change spacer, the poor man's box. Um, okay, let's try that. Because spacer just means spacer's better if I don't have content. Um, and let's go to. I don't know, like I want to make this bigger. Like, let's make this 200. Um, Spacer under the hood is box. You might be right. Let's find out. Oh, well, it's got this glance node thing, but I think the answer is ultimately yes. I could look at the compose version or the material version as well, but okay. The divider's not exactly where I expect it to be. Um, it's like it's there and it's scrolling, but the divider's not exactly where I expect it to be. Um, is that something I did? Is that why is that happening? Is that a glance thing? If I resize the widget, is it gonna move? No, it's always there. Um, It's not a separate item, it's one item. I mean, I guess. Um, well, I'm using items indexed. This works in composed material. Like I do this in my other UI. Um, but I guess I could throw this in a column and huh. I'm just saying this works. This works outside of Glance just fine. Um, like if we look at this screen right here, like it works here. It's doing the exact same thing. Um, but maybe the way the lazy column is implemented over there is different. There, yeah, there we go. That's nice. Ah, beautiful. It's coming together. I'm gonna take a quick screenshot of this. Look at that coming together. Um, yeah. So if we look at team selection content, just briefly, um, yeah, items indexed. I give it a team selection list item, and then a divider. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's something different there. It's definitely fair. Like I wouldn't expect it to work either, looking at it, but it does. Um, hell yeah, this is very hype. Um, yeah, the Twitter lint rules probably would disallow something like that. Um, okay, so let's clean up some stuff real quick. So let's let's rename this. This will be upcoming matches widget receiver. Um, we're gonna rename this upcoming matches widget provider. Um, we're gonna rename this to the label being upcoming matches. And can we trust those lit rules anymore? Oh no. Um, I think we can leave this as initial widget layout, like this just be what it is. Okay, run this one more time, and then we can make a pull request. And I think it's coming up on 2 o'clock here, so I'll probably wrap this up. But then next time I do a widget stream, which I can do at the same time, another day, we will look at putting in real data. Putting in real data and then also like handling a click listener. Okay, widgets. Upcoming matches, 3 by 1. Nice. Drop this in here. Beautiful. Beautiful. Um, test the resizing here. Nice, nice and responsive. Oh, that's a minimum. That is okay. Nice. Um, yeah, this is nice. So, yeah, it wasn't that bad. I was streaming for less than an hour and a half, and a lot of that I was just talking. So, um, using demo display models for upcoming matches widget. Yeah. So I'm gonna push this. I'm gonna get a pull request together. Um, ooh, intent not handling extras. Interesting. So next time when we do this, we can. Is it not pushing? Oh, probably not. It's probably failing from some static analysis check. I'll sort out the static analysis checks post stream. But exclamation point GitHub if you want the project repo to keep an eye out for that. I'm gonna switch.